before. Um, I live in a life in which I love what I do. I love my life in every single aspect. And by my own experience, I can tell you that I don't need someone to be on with in life. So, I mean, I'm perfectly fine being single as I can be fine on a relationship. Okay? There's a lot of people that believe they need someone to actually make their life better. I can tell by my own experience. I used to think this way too. Okay, I passed a long period of time till the age of 18. I thought the same. I was looking for someone to share life, and I thought I would rely on someone to make my life better. But with experience on relationships and being single, I got to understand that effectively it's easier for me to create the better life that I can have on my own. It doesn't mean though that there's someone that could appear and effectively make my life even better. And I'm perfectly open to that, but I'm not open to sacrifice how good my life is for me to actually be on a relationship. So I think it is up to the people, to each person to decide what they prefer or what they want to go for. But in my personal case, I would rather be with an amazing life as single than compromising my life quality having someone at my side. But doesn't mean it has to be this way. In fact, what a lot of people tell you is that you should look for someone that had value to your life. So it would be something that increase actually how good your life is and not the opposite. And effectively everyone can find someone to add value to their life. It all depends on what you want. But essentially, I think like the dating space is just like you manage people relationships in general. So it's all about communication. It's all about you be clear about your intentions, understand what you want, because there's a lot of people that struggle because they don't even set clear for themselves what they want. For example, you have people that are looking either to casual dates or not. They're saying they're open to both. But in reality, if you ask them, you may get to understand that's not the case. So there's people that will actually say they want a serious relationship, but because they can't find anyone to compromise, they're having casual dates. And what happens is, this is again personal choice. You can be doing this, but you're essentially selling yourself short on something you don't want to, instead of saying to yourself that you are worth more than what that person can provide to you, and you're just going out to look for something more because this person is just not allowed to bring what you want, and you can't bring to them what they want either, because if they just want a casual date and you want something seriously, at some point things will disconnect, because you will be looking for something that the other person can't provide to you, and vice versa. So this is about you set clear for yourself what you want, you go after it. Don't think you're compromising on anything by just saying no to what you don't want. I think the best way for you to get what you want is to be clear and either go for it or stay the way you are. What's important, at least for me, is that I have my quality of life and my state of mind the best possible way. And in my personal case, again, I rather be with no one than with someone that doesn't want the same thing as I do. But each person can take their own decision. But it's very important to understand what you really want. So before you start to date, because this happens a lot, you're starting to date people, and one after the other, it seems things are not working with any person. But if you sit down with yourself and you actually tell yourself, okay, what do you want? If you don't have these clearly defined, it will be as hard for you to find what you want because you don't know what it is yet, as it will be for the other people that you're dating to understand what you actually want. So if you struggle on dating, the best way to think is that your problem. It's not them. Okay? We should always think everything in our life that is not the way we want, it's because we have something we have to change and we have to realize what it is. This is the best way to approach. And it's the opposite of what most people think. Okay? But this is the big difference between what some people achieve and others compared to life achievements and progress is a lot around the way you think things are happening. So most people that have their life the way they want, they believe they have all the power to decide their own circumstances. And if there's something wrong, it's because they have to change something in themselves to improve. The people that think the opposite way can never get control of their life because they assume the external, so what's around them, should actually change to fit them and not the opposite. Okay? So you can think either way or the other. I can tell you the outcome of thinking, if there's something wrong, it's because you have something to fix in yourself. This is the best way for you to make progress in life and get things the way you want. Again, let's say you're just starting to date and you're just meeting someone. Like, let's say you find someone on a dating app, for example. You align yourself with the other person in values. So they're saying they're looking for someone that is a caring person, a person that is kind, that likes what he does, whatever. And you kind of have similar things in your life as well. So you're the same way, you're looking for someone like that. So essentially, your profiles seem to be matching in some way. This doesn't mean that you get to know the person and you effectively like the person, because when you get to actually meet the person and feel their energy and how they behave, how they are, you can just go to understand that that's not the person that you actually thought it was, and you're just looking for something else, and that's fine. Okay, this can happen either one way or the other. So when you're just about to meet someone, realize that it just starts. So you don't know if you're going to like the person. And the same thing the other way around as well. After you actually get to know the person physically, you get to understand a little bit more of if you like it or not, and you may actually understand if it's a person that you're looking for or not, or maybe in the first date you can't even decide yet. So it's like you find the person interesting, but it's still early for you to figure it out exactly if you want the person or not, in terms of having a relationship, let's say. So that's fine as well. If you don't have to take a decision on the first date. I'm not saying that you're going to say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, okay? And that's not a problem. What is important is for you to understand your side. You show yourself as you are and you understand your side. So in your side, after your first date, you get to understand how you feel. And if you feel like you need more information, more dates, more physical interaction with the person to get to know the person, whatever, you just keep going on. You don't have to say anything, or if you want to say, you say. So there's no framework around how you should approach the dates itself. So in some way, it's a natural process. But now, let's say you really like the person on your first date. Should you say it? Because there's people afraid of saying these things. Oh, maybe it's too early to say it. If you like the person on your first date and you feel like it's the right person for you on the first date, you can say. You can say either personally or messages after. You can say, I really liked you. I feel like you're the type of person that I would like to have a relationship. You can say what you want. The other side can either be that feels the same way or doesn't. The person can tell you, well, for me it's still a bit early to decide. I still don't know yet. And it's fine. You can just give some time to the other person to try to understand if they will like you the same way or not. If not, you move on. You know, I think everyone is different. Everyone is looking for something specific in some way or in a number of ways. So I think people shouldn't take dates personally. Like in the end of the day, you have the way you are. You are the way you are, and you're looking for someone that could be in some way compatible to you, but at the same time you want a person with, let's say, you want things that a person may have or not. You may just not feel a connection there. It should be natural. You don't have to think too much around these things. Back when people are kids, we don't really think about these things. Things actually happen naturally. So kids are more intuitive into the process. It's like you either like it or not, and you just move on. I think as we get older, we tend to complicate things too much in our heads when in reality it's just very simple. What's important for you is to set clear your side. And then you see the feedback that you get and you make the decision that feels fine for you. So if the other person doesn't like you and you like them, it's okay. You move on, right? The next person will probably like you. It's okay. What matters is for you to, as soon as you set clear your side, you should communicate your side to the other person. Because the faster people openly talk about how they feel between each other, the faster you can make progress into either going to a relationship or moving up in separate ways.